Hello, everybody. Welcome, Rosa Psychic Investigator. So, guys, it's been a while. Today is Thursday, February 19th. And Rio, where I am right now, is a big city for Carnival. Carnival just ended on Wednesday, Ash Wednesday. So Ash Wednesday is the official end of Carnival and the beginning of the Catholic Lent. So the excuse, I call it's the excuse for Carnival, right? But it's not really Carnival. I don't think it's really quite far from any sort of religious anything, right? It's like the party before seriousness returns. Okay. So so it was just things are closed. It was actually quiet. I didn't do anything because you do something when you're a teenager or whatever. When I was younger and my parents are with me, it's okay. It's nice actually to watch TV. They have the samba schools that if you ever come to Brazil during Carnival, I recommend that it's expensive. It's this parade. You have to pay a ticket to go to. It's beautiful. It's these schools that spend the entire year preparing their costumes, and they have the samba songs. They have all kinds of different roles in the parade, and it's very, very beautiful, professional, and it's amazing. But anyway, so you can watch that on TV, though you don't have to go. If you're Brazilian, you don't have to go personally. But that was the carnival, and it was just kind of more difficult for some reason to like make videos. Long story. So I'm back here today, and I'm making videos again. So thank you for being patient. And nothing's happening. No, nothing, nothing. So guys, by the way, no, if you comment on my jewelry, guys, I went today. So yeah, Friday, I went to there's a jewelry store. Guys, there's so much happening. I try to make a video of this place, but this is really not TMI. I can share this with you. So having lived in New York or like the US most of my life, right? I don't pay attention. I'm not as careful as people who live here all the time. And here I have my headphones that I like to that I wear this, and this is very effective, right? It blocks the sound. I'm walking around wearing this, and in Rio, this is it's kind of sad, right? In Rio, you cannot like the advice is to never pull out your phone in public because people could literally snatch it out of your hand. So this neighborhood is it's downtown, right? So it's very active in the day. There's a lot of businesses. There's all kinds of businesses. There's the financial center. There's also this like really interesting area called the Sahara because Brazil has a lot of like Arab immigrants from the beginning of the 20th century. And they have these little small stores, this area that has all these stores, but it's basically like usually somewhat cheap, like kind of cheap stuff, not somewhat cheap, and very like crowded, and it's kind of interesting. So it's not exactly like a bazaar, that they have in a lot of Arab countries, but it's not like because bazaars are kind of nice. It's just like the junky kind of things, except there's a crystal store. So I went to the crystal store there, and I sweat but because there's no air conditioning in the store. So I'm there like sweating, not moving, sweating. But I went and got this on Friday, and I was like, for some reason, hoping I would find more, but they're gone. That was the last one. I don't know. They just don't have another one like this. But they had rings. Look. So now I am protecting my vertebrae. No, I feel it. I feel the protection. It's really incredible. So just talking about these topics that are not relevant until we get to the point. Not relevant, not serious. So guys, what I'm so excited. Excited is not the word because the world is strange, right? What the hell's going on? A lot's going on. A lot's going on. So it's amazing that we're living to see the arrest of a man who was born a British prince, and today is known as I would say common criminal, but as a criminal, right? He's treated like the criminal that he is. And he was arrested today by the police in the UK. Now, this is a beautiful thing to see, right? Justice at its core. And I think if you're a person in the West, I guess kind of the Western world, nothing could, I think the British monarchy, and I'm not necessarily against the monarchy, to be honest, but the British monarchy is the definition of elite, of power, of class, of untouchability, right? What could be more than that? There's nothing above that, right? So we're seeing this person be arrested for horrific things, right? And by the way, he was arrested for, I think, espionage. Is that right? Or no, I'm confusing the other guy. There was Mendelsohn, but he was not arrested yet for the thing that he's done to the kids. It's for what he has shared with, let's see here. Just make sure, okay? It's the stuff he shared with, okay, so suspicion of misconduct in public office. So, right? So that's the broad definition. So this is a big opening of that I think tells us that justice is the beginning of justice. And guys, what could be more symbolic than this that we're experiencing, right? This guy's arrested is a big deal, very big deal. So interesting information. Interesting information. So he's arrested now. Now I just feel this floodgates, right? It's not gonna end. I just don't see it ending. And I see no, and I see Virginia is here. No. Also, let's do the protection. I'd like to ask for protection. I have a lot. By the way, this is onyx. So they had an onyx bracelet. Onyx is another. I need a lot of grounding stones around me, protection and grounding all the time. This one. And I asked someone how, because sometimes I honestly the black, I really use a lot of black stones because I need a lot of protection, a lot of grounding. I like to wear black, but it's not because I like to wear black. It's because they have a function, right? But sometimes I have a hard time like knowing which one is which. So she explained. So I was like, "How do you know this is not obsidian?" She said it's thicker. The obsidian is much more glass-like. So I trust her. But anyway, going back to the point. The point is the protection. I like to ask for protection. A beautiful ray of lights coming on top of my head as I breathe in. I fill my lungs as I breathe out. I create a circle, I step into it. Step into it, I feel protected, I feel connected. I like to ask that information come only from the highest sources, that I create the good and all the goodness of this. Okay, so I feel Virginia coming through. Yeah, I see she's angelic and surrounded by angels. Wow, and some of the angels are the kids that have perished. And they're there together as angels. And as you guys know, I struggle with this when I get there, like, oh, we chose to go. This is a role, but I still get so angry when like that should not be the norm. Kids should not go through this. It's not, to be a martyr like that is not, it's not normal. It's not okay. So, but anyway, so she's there and she's showing me a scroll, like a scroll of the pictures of those men, and they're all going down. And it's a short scroll. Like, remember, like a film, like a roll of film, like that, like a one picture, then another and another, and it's all these different faces of men, and them being arrested. And she shows that there's power, and this is a vampiric, demonic. I think I can say that word, right? Like in the sense, demonic of like overpowering the weakest in order to maintain their position. And she says yes. And she's saying they silenced me then, they can't silence me now. Wow, okay. It's all here. It's simply the truth, Rosie. Nothing more. Just the truth. This is the full truth of what all these. Wow. And she's showing me. Guys, okay, I read. Okay, I guess I was on Twitter and I clicked on this thing. Okay, warning. Okay, it's very graphic. So there was a testimony. It was a call or an accusation and I have no reason to not believe it, of a girl 6 to 8 years old being tortured by Ghislaine, and Prince Andrew watched it. This is like, it was in the files. I'm not going to give you the details because it's too horrific, but it's showing, and she's, yes, Virginia is saying yes, just true. It's all true. And I see that the demon, talk about demonic, right? That woman, she is, it's like she chose to embody and to bring to herself the darkest of the male behavior so that she could be, quote unquote, one of them. So it doesn't really necessarily matter, like, her sick mind, but it's saying that yes, she wanted to get their power, and she was willing to do anything to kind of show them that, it's like she was sick, but this makes sense. It's like, oh, I'm one of them. I can be one of them. And saying, it tells me all it takes. It's like all it takes is a woman who is willing to be. It's okay to say it's okay. So it's saying, Rosie, it's important that people recognize it's not just the men. It's also some of the women that participated and some of the women who were willing to facilitate this. It's not just a saying, yes, it's men, but there is women involved. And I'm going to talk about, guys, a little bit about this other woman, where Katie Rumler, in a little bit. I'm going to talk about her, but the next video. So wow. So that's okay. So that's and it's just that. So Virginia, what do we do as humans, like dealing with this, and what do we do? What can we do? What's next? Any guidance about saying it's recognized as a crime and it can be talked about? Children and women are recognized as people, not as objects. Their experiences they're entitled to have a voice. It's saying people think there's a lot of, you could see on the internet how there's a lot of these men complaining about women. Oh, women, they're victims. They say they're victims, but the reality is, why are they so upset when women say something? They want to be able to get away with saying women have been the punching bags for the entire humanity. And they have been able to use women as punching bags as like relief mechanism or something. You have a problem, just punch them and get away with it. And now the idea that they have to respect that there's a limit to their power, there's a limit to who they are and their power, right? Is like, for these evil people, it's like, suddenly I can't just do the worst things in the world to people. No, you can't. So they're angry, right? They say the ability to oppress people is to the bad people are a sign of power. Like, well, how can it be powerful if I can't harm others? That's like, that is supposed to come with the territory. I'm supposed to have important rights and the rights to harm others. Okay, so now going back to Andrew. So he knows a lot, right? That's the other thing. He knows a lot. He's seen a lot. He's been with a lot. And I think the most sophisticated crimes he's involved in, right? Like, I think, because I see that, of course, Ghislaine was enthralled by him because of his birth position, right? The fact that he's a prince. He was, not anymore, but, and now, and so he's seen a lot, and it's like, thought he could just get away with everything because of a prince. I mean, really, that was his life. Now, okay, tell me more. What's going on? What's next? What's going on? What's next? Yeah, okay. I've seen, guys, in the post, there's so much going on all the time, but that showed that Epstein had opened businesses for him. There's like bank accounts and like, honestly, businesses. So he knows all about, and he's just honestly opened businesses with him. And he was bankrolled. Remember how that woman, discussing the woman, Fergie, right? She was like, oh, she was like, oh, Epstein, marry. Remember she said there was like an actual email, like, oh, marry me or something like that. Disgusting, right? And so it's really like she that's like how she got money from him also. They all got, not all, but he was bankrolled by him. He was exposed to the most exquisite experiences, quote unquote, by. So what is he going to do? What's going to happen? Yeah, he's going to want to talk. When I was talking to Corina earlier, but Corina says hi. She's recovering from her virus, the cold, the throat, the virus. I think rhino. I forgot the name. Rhizo something. But she said also she saw that like he's going to talk. And I guys, and by the way, it's starting to come out stuff about Trump more and more. There's a lot more. There's just so much breaking about girls, their videos of girls and Representative Ted Lieu of California. Ted Lieu, right? You say it like that. I think it's Liu. He said that there's information about Trump RAPE girls, right? Like stuff like that. So it's there. So what happens now? And I see that Trump is trying to bite into this thing. Like he's just, no, I can get away. And it's almost like he is the energy of all of this. I'm not, obviously he's not the only one, no. But there's something about him using this like a demonic thing, diabolical thing. Use steal the lives of the innocents. And I'm not just talking about unaliving people, talk about harming them so much, causing them distress that they'll never forget if they survive, right? For the rest of their lives. And these are beautiful. Like, I'm not saying that beauty is, makes them different, but you would look at them, oh, look how you think, oh, so they're so pretty or whatever, but the pain they have endured because of it. So okay, tell me what he's just so. Yeah, it shows me the White House collapsing, everything collapsing, because they're only the only thing they have is evil. That's really what they are about. So what is happening? Okay, what is happening with, why does it say by the end of February? It shows me the White House collapsing and Trump in the rubble. There's not, and I see this darkness and somebody trying to, when you see these like breaking news from like the rubble of like some country that also had a earthquake or something, trying to find Trump is like in the middle, but how is he in a rubble of his own making? Okay, the castle, like his castle have collapsed. So wow. Interesting information. Interesting information. Yeah, very interesting information. I think. Yeah. So wow. Wow. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So it just shows me this thing collapsing. Why is it collapsing? Why is the White House collapsing? The schemes are being shown, they're being lifted, and they're all in it. Shows me again Howard Lutnick. And it's saying, guys, we saw that in Norway, they arrested the former prime minister. There was all this stuff happening all over the world except here. I'm sorry, the US. And but it's coming out. And it's saying, so how it's saying, because nobody, so why, what exactly makes it? So it's saying he tries crazy things, and he is trying to do some Iran thing, isn't he? And did you see, guys, by the way, that some sort of Ayatollah said that Trump was trying to make a fake war? Oh, and today, this is the other thing. Today, the UK prime minister said that he is not letting the US use UK bases in the Middle East to attack Iran. So here we are. This is like, so the prime minister did a lot of things. Oh, okay. Say he's showing the population that he's willing to go after people that are involved in EPS, and that's how he can maybe try to stay in power. But guys, the honestly, today it was just that I had to come here because I spent so much time away, and tomorrow I'll have to catch up with all the videos. It's crazy, it's crazy. So what's next? That's right, the White House. It's saying the White House collapsing. He's gonna try to do a lot of wars, and he can't. And it's saying he's trying to do all these distraction things. And again, because all of them, it's saying not every single person, but the purpose of the government is this organized crime thing where PEDOs are part of it. Like it's part of their value system, right? So they want to stay in power because it's all about just power and nothing else, right? It's about stealing, theft, whatever the gang, the criminal situation, has happened. Like, right? It's a criminal organization. So plunder, theft, crap, whatever. And so what is going to happen to the US though? Okay, I have a question. How are we going to continue immediately after if none of this is ever prosecuted? Because we have learned also that the FBI barely ever did anything about it. They never did, like never, right? Like it just seems like they had so much information and yet they did nothing. Similar to that thing, right? Like, hello, they just did nothing. No, it shows me Kamala again coming back. And it has to be a new person, like a person meaning that is not afraid of trash, has gone after trash. And he wants to go to the bottom, get to the bottom of this. So, wow. Yeah, and so that's the same. But because it shows, it's saying, Rosie, the PEDOs and the Trump admin and the people that support Trump are not different from the ones, they're the same, right? So if you go after him, you're automatically going after the PEDOs. So can you guys, I'm surprised in a way that the whole thing, it's like, remember the whole QAnon was like a fake, was a conspiracy theory about reality instead of being Democrats. There's a handful of Democrats, I guess, and it's not really about the political part necessarily, but it makes sense. They created the fiction version to hide the reality of it. So wow. So okay, so I'm gonna put out this video because there's so much more to talk about. Okay. All right. So thank you for watching. Okay. All right. Love you. Bye.